What's going on, America? I'm the right wing angel out of America. And in this video, we're going to talk about reparations and why I believe white people don't owe me shit. And shout out to the inspiration for this video, Miss Ghetto Queen, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Now, I stumbled across this video on Twitter, and she was doing an interview with someone, and she was basically telling them the way that we can give black people reparations is to not have them pay any taxes. Now, I thought that was absolutely insane, but it got me to thinking. There are a lot of things that black people take for granted in this country, and maybe slavery was a blessing in disguise. Let's check this out.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously, then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's
So it may not be as objectionable to some people to have to give money. Well, if black people aren't paying any taxes, who do you think is making up the difference? They may not be giving it directly, but they're going to be giving it because there's going to be a tax increase to pay for her reparations proposal, her insane reparations proposal.
That's one of the reasons that, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you...
Lady, slavery was legal all around the world. It was a practice that was done for thousands of years, okay? So this is not a thing where people were kidnapped and brought to the United States of America. The African kings and queens actually sold their own people into slavery. These were prisoners of war and people that they had as slaves in Africa. So this is not this fairy tale fantasy that a lot of these wokies try to put out there, that black people were just in Africa living free, minding their own business, and all these white people just came in and started killing people and kidnapping black people just to make them slaves. Nope, that did not happen. You have to understand what the times were like back then. A lot of black people try to claim that they're descendants of ancient Egyptians. Well, what did the ancient Egyptians do? They had slaves. They had a ton of slaves. Guess who built the pyramids? Slaves. So do you owe all the people that were enslaved in ancient Egypt? Do black people owe them reparations? I guarantee you they will say no.
If you do the no tax thing, for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
They may want those checks like they got during COVID.
Exactly.
Oh my God, these people, they drive me crazy, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not a victim. I'm not out here claiming that white people or the government owes me something. Y'all don't owe me anything. I know there's a lot of white people watching this video. Y'all don't owe me anything. Anything that I get, I'm going to get it on my own. I'm going to get it based on my own efforts, and I'm going to receive based on my own merits. So I don't need anything. I don't need anybody to give me anything. I think the reparations argument is foolish. I think it's very immature. We got to let that go. I'm sorry. We got to let slavery go. We all have to heal from trauma that wasn't even yours, from trauma that happened to your ancestors a long, long, long time ago. You have to heal from that. And I'll tell you, black parents, you got to stop passing on the trauma to your children, and then your children pass it on to their children. Everything is okay. We don't need to even talk about this anymore. Of course, it's great to know your history, know where you came from. Cool. But also know that you were there and now you're here. You started from the bottom and now you're here. Some of y'all still trying to get out, but at least you're not slaves. At least you're not down there. You may be in the gutter, but you were in the sewer before. So let's celebrate the progress. But anyway, I talked earlier in this video, maybe slavery was a blessing in disguise. I mean, this is my opinion. You can think whatever you want, but I think slavery was a blessing in disguise because I am fortunate that I was born free in the great country of the United States of America versus a country back in Africa where the slaves originated from. And I'm going to prove that I'm better off here than there. And everybody is better off here than there. Check this out. So these are some of the places of origin where the African slaves came from. 25% came between the regions of Angola and Congo. So let's look at how things are in Angola and Congo today. Check out, because I pulled up a lot of these, but I want you to check out how things are going in Angola. Check it out. 54.7% of the rural population lives below the poverty line. You want to be in Africa? Are you not happy that Massa picked you up? Huh? You want to live in these conditions? 1.58 million people in acute food insecurities in southwestern Angola. Is that what you want? I don't want that. Let's check out another place. Congo. An estimated 74.6% of Congolese people live on less than $2.15 a day in 2023. About 1 out of 6 people living in extreme poverty. You want to go back there? You not happy Massa picked you up from the Congo? I am. Let's check out Cameroon. 4.4 million people in need of humanitarian assistance. 29% children under 5 are stunted. 37.7% of people are severely impoverished. Severely impoverished people. Now, when you talk about poverty in Africa, it's not like poverty in the United States of America. Poverty in the United States of America, you kind of living like a king unless you're homeless. People who make no money are out there on living it up on food stamps, other types of government assistance. They're getting Section 8. They're getting all these benefits and privileges that basically most Americans don't get. They get to go in grocery stores and buy $200 worth of snacks, all in the government's dime. That's poverty in the United States. Is nothing like that in Africa. If you're impoverished in Africa, you can't find anything to eat. You're trying to find clean water. So there's no comparison. But this is where we came from. All the African Americans here that want to complain about slavery and this should have never happened. Honestly, I'm glad it happened. If it wasn't for slavery, I'd be in this. I'd be living in Africa. I'd be fighting flies. I'd be drinking, trying to filter the water through my palm out of a river somewhere. So I'm ecstatic that I didn't have to be born into this. While everybody's complaining about, oh, it's slavery did. Oh my God, slavery. Well, I feel bad that my ancestors had to suffer through that. It was a part of life back then, but I also understand how much I benefited from it, how much of a great thing it was to be born in this country. And the sacrifices that they made, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to honor their sacrifice. If it wasn't for them coming over here, then we'd be all in Africa, struggling, instead of living like kings and queens over here in this great country called the United States of America. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.